Okay, I think we are streaming, although I'm not quite sure. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, I think we're live. Hello, I'm Lewis. Welcome to another one of my Blender tutorial streams. This one I'm doing about modifiers, and more specifically the order in which you put modifiers on your objects. So, to demonstrate what I mean, we've got a little cube here, just our little startup cube. Isn't it marvellous? We're in object mode right now, and I'm going to go over to the modifiers here, which is in the properties window. Modifiers, which is our little spanner guy there. And we're going to add a modifier. So the first modifier I'm going to put on is the wireframe. Here it is. And you can see what that's done. We can give our wireframe a thickness. And it's basically kind of followed the wireframe that was already there on the cube. So we can use this little eye here to disable and enable this modifier. Well, the view of it anyway. So we don't want to see it, we do want to see it. So yeah, that's following the wireframe of the cube. So there's the wireframe of the cube. And we apply the modifier and that's what it does. Pretty neat. We've got a few variables that we can mess around with, the thickness and some little toggles, even thickness, relative thickness, boundary, replace original. We can remove that and have the original still in the scene. So yeah, that's fairly straightforward what's going on there. Now I'm going to add another modifier. So I'm going to add a subdivision surface. Put it down here like this. Here it is. So can we see what's happened here now? So I'll get rid of the subdivision. We've gone from this to this to this. Okay. And if I put the subdivisions up one more, maybe a couple more, we get these nice kind of circles. Quite an interesting shape, really. But let's put that down to 2. Actually, let's put it down to 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap these modifiers, and we can do that with these little buttons here. On each modifier there's a little up and down arrow. So I can either move the wireframe modifier down, or I can move the subdivision modifier up, which is what I'm going to do. Click, and now look what we've got. Isn't that surprising? And completely different. So what's happening? How have we made this unusual shape? Well, we can figure this out by going through our modifiers and just disabling them. So there we go, we get rid of a wireframe, and now maybe it's a bit more clear what's happened. We disabled the subdivision, we had a cube, we subdivided it into this weird ball thing, and then we put a wireframe, we made a wireframe of that mesh. So we create this weird kind of, it's quite interesting really. So I could put the subdivisions up and we end up with this, put them up even more. And you know, we start to get something really interesting now actually. We've got like a kind of big wireframe cage thing. I could put the subdivision modifier onto simple, and there we go. And then I can just change the number of subdivisions like that. Change the thickness, and that's, you know, an easy way to just make a cage for your dungeon, if that's what you're into. So yeah, the lesson of today is order of modifiers. It goes from the top down, so the first modifier is on the top, and then they go down. So they work kind of, you know, it's kind of similar to layers on Photoshop if you're into that. On how this is going on with your modifiers, because you know, sometimes you can just have 2 or 3 modifiers and something really bizarre can happen. I recommend going from the top down and just disabling the modifiers and having a look at what they're doing. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say for this little tutorial video. So thanks for watching, happy blending, hope it was helpful, see you next time.